All right, before break, you guys took a quiz, Unit 8, quiz number 2, that covered everything on SOHCAHTOA, sine, cosine, and tangent. I gave them, everyone who's in class right now, I gave them back. If you're coming in class tomorrow, I'll give it back to you. For people who took it on formative, I cannot release it back to you because not everyone has taken it yet in this class. All right, so I cannot, anybody who took it on formative, I can't release it back until everyone has taken it. All right? So that's where we are right now. Where are we going this week? If you take a look up on the screen, we got a unit test on Friday, and that is for everybody. Everyone, whether you're in class or not on Friday, is going to take it. My reasoning being, if you're in class on Friday and going to take it, I don't think it's fair to those people who are going to take it to give everybody else 2 extra days over the weekend to study for it. It's not fair. All right, so out of fairness, everyone's going to take it on Friday. It is a unit test. It will cover in all of Unit 8. So starting from Hills and Sass on. And as you guys can see, I wrote this up here not to scare you, but to get you mentally ready. This is going to be an honors level test. So even if you did well on quiz 1 and quiz 2, great job, but it doesn't mean squat. It'll be 3 multiple choice questions and 4 long word problems. And you got to know, am I going to use sine, cosine, tangent? Am I going to use Hills and Sass? Maybe a 30, 60, 90 rule. All right, that's going to be up to you guys. All right, but I'm just preparing you mentally right now on Monday, 4 days ahead of the unit test, to let you know this is going to be an honors level. It's going to be on the tough side. In addition to that, up on Classroom, because I want to make sure you have enough preparation as possible, up on Classroom right now under Unit 8, you will find the different types of word problems I'm talking about. All right, so you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say there's going to be 4 long word problems on there. So you can find those type of word problems up on Classroom right now under Unit 8. I figured I'd give them to you now because if I gave them to you on Thursday, it'd be too late. All right? So that's the deal with Friday's test. Everyone's going to take it. If for some reason you're quote unquote out for whatever reason legally, you're taking it on Monday. All right, so just be prepared for that. Any questions I can answer about the test coming up on Friday? It's not going to be a long one. It's 7 questions, I guess. 3 multiple choice and 4 word problems.
How many points will it be worth?
I haven't determined that yet. Probably with between 30 and 40 point range.
Got it.
Yep. All right, next up. Next Monday, since we're going to have the test on Friday, next Monday we start our new unit. And I'm just warning everybody, in this next unit, there is a ton of graphing. A ton of graphing. I would like all your homework to be done on graph paper, please. So you guys that use Kami, that shouldn't be an issue because I think there's an option for change the blank page to graph paper. But you guys that don't use Kami, I'm just giving you a heads up to make sure you got a few slices on you at home to do the homework on. Because I don't want you to go from line paper to graph paper, line paper to graph paper. Let's do it all on graph paper, no issues. So that's starting next unit, next Monday. And my availability this week is going to be a little different than usual. I'll be here today after school, no issues. I won't be here tomorrow or Wednesday. And on Thursday, I'm going to start the review for the test at 3 o'clock. And the reason I'm going to do that is if anybody's in class on Thursday, you're never going to be able to make the review at 2:15. Okay, so just again, for fairness, I'm going to start the review at 3 o'clock. I will also record the review and put it on the YouTube channel for anybody that misses it but still wants to be a part of it. Okay? So there's my availability as far as extra help for the week. Today after school and then not until Thursday when we review for the test, and that'll start at 3 and go till whenever the last question's been asked. All right, all good for this week. We're going to finish up Unit 8, and then we'll start the next one on Monday. Anybody questions at home? Also, before break, not only did we take a quiz, but you guys watched a Ed Puzzle video on the next day's notes. And that is what you're going to practice today. All right? after I review what was on the video. So what I'm going to do right now, this is not part of your packet at all. Not part of your packet. I cut and pasted a problem from your textbook. So I have triangle GHJ. And again, this just came from your textbook. So if you want to jot it down, go right ahead. If you just want to follow along on the screen, go right ahead. What I'm going to ask right now in this triangle is to solve it. Solve the triangle. Anybody remember before break what I'm asking for when I ask you to solve a triangle?
The missing angle and the missing side.
Whatever's missing. Angles, find them. Sides, find them. Whatever's missing. And the problem we run into right away is it's not a right triangle. Well, actually, you know what? I don't know if it's a right triangle or not. Can we find G first? Help me find angle G, because I don't need anything special to find angle G. Why not?
Because you can add 71 plus 34 to get 105. 180 minus 105 equals 75.
I could take the two angles, 34 and 71, subtract them from 180, and get 75 degrees. So angle G, 75. So that's probably the easiest. Find the angles. All right, now I could definitely say it's not a right triangle. So, hey, everything I've shown you so far this unit is useless. Useless. No hills and sass, no sine, cosine, tangent, no pi fact. That's only in a right triangle. So before break, I did a video that showed you guys a new formula, a new law that you can use to find a side in any triangle. And it was called the law of sines. The law of sines. And let me review that real quick. Here's what the law of sines says. You have a triangle. Any triangle, by the way. I'm going to keep stressing this. This law of sines can be used in a right triangle or something that's not a right triangle. Anything it can be used. And here's what it said. It was a proportion. It said, hey, you take any side in a triangle. And let me review this. Instead of calling this side of the triangle BC, I'm just going to call it lowercase a. Do you remember why? What's it across from? Angle A. So across from angle A, I'm going to call side A. Across from angle B, I'm going to call side B. And across from angle C, I'm going to call side C. Here's what the law of sines said. Take any side in a triangle. Side A. Put it over the sine of the angle across from it. So the sine of angle A. That ratio is going to be the same as another side. I'll just pick C now to be different. Over the sine of the angle across from it. So the sine of angle C. All right? That's what the law of sine says. Take a side over the sine of its angle, and it's equal to another side over the sine of its angle. All right, so going back to my problem here. We need to find side J and side H. Is everybody at home all right why I'm calling it side J and side H instead of referring it to HG or GJ? We're okay? All right, I'm just going to randomly pick, let's find side J. Using law of sines, here's what we can do. Side J over, what's the angle across? 71, but I don't put 71 in the denominator. I put the sine of 71. That's a different number than 71. So J over the sine of 71 is equal to, I need another side and another angle. Preferably not another variable. So the only other side I know that was given to me, 20.3 over sine of, what's the angle opposite 20.3?
75.
75. And there is law of sines being used to find side J. And now we cross multiply. sine of 71 times 20.3 equals J times sine 75. All right, let me turn it over to you guys. How do you want to find J now? What do I need to do on both sides? How do I get J by itself?
Get sine of 71 times 20.3.
All right, I'll multiply sine of 71 times 20.3, but I still got to get J by itself on this side.
And then you can divide that by the sine of 75.
Divide the right side and the left by the sine of 75. Yep. So J is going to be equal to, and I like to do, this is my preference. You don't have to follow my lead here. I like to do it all at the last step. So I'm going to go to my calculator right now. I'm going to pull up a fraction template. On top, 20 times sine 71. And then on the bottom is the sine of 75. And I'll just round to the nearest tenth to make it easier on us, 19.6 to the nearest tenth. So J, what I already forgot, 19.6. There it is. Okay. I'm not going to actually find the final answer, but I at least want to just set it up with you guys. All right, help me find H now. Somebody correct my incorrect statement here. Oh, well, we know two sides already. 20.3, and we just found J was 19.6. Let's do PyFag. Let's do PyFag, everyone. Let's do PyFag. What's the problem? What's up, Tom?
There's no right angle.
Not a right triangle. Can't do PyFag. Can't do sine, cosine, tangent. Can't do Hills and Sass unless I have right triangles. So PyFag not an option, but law of sines is. H over what now? Sine 34, angle opposite, equals, now you guys got some choices now because you already found side J. I always use the side that I was always given. Here's why, and maybe some of you can explain why. What if I made a mistake finding J, and now you're going to use it again? Guess what's going to happen here? You're going to get it wrong 100%, right? So you might as well just keep using the given side. 20.3, sine of 75 again. And then same thing, cross multiply. How can you do a quick check that you probably got the problem right? Anybody know what theorem? Once I find all sides and angles, anybody know what theorem I could use to figure out that at least the sides I found are in the ballpark? What's the theorem about angles and sides in a triangle?
Is it the biggest sides are across from biggest angles and then smallest sides from smallest angles?
So correct. So after you're done with the problem, say to yourself, is the biggest side across from my biggest angle? Is the smallest side across from my smallest angle?
And the two smaller sides should add up to be larger.
And the two smaller sides should be added up larger than the third side. Correct. Yep. All right, everybody, all right. So you guys got two jobs for me right now through the end of class. Two jobs. One is do the assignment. You can find the assignment on the assignment sheet on Classroom, or you can find it on page 47 of your note packet. Please check your answers up on Classroom as you're doing this. Many, if not all of you, will finish this before class ends. If that is the case, you will get on to Classroom and start looking at the word problems I posted on there to get ready for the unit test. All right, so those are your two jobs right now. If you have questions with the textbook assignment, let me know. I got them all up on the board here. I can go right to a question and help you figure out where you went wrong. If you're coming into class tomorrow, do not submit it on Classroom. I'll just take a look at it tomorrow. That's what you got right now, guys, so go ahead and get going. do the textbook questions, check them on Classroom. Once you're done, start looking at those word problems.